tell you kids this all the time, but it came back in my head again today. It says, children, obey your parents in the Lord. And I've been thinking, this is what's been coming to me about in the Lord. That doesn't mean if you have parents that are not godly parents and they tell you to do something that is wrong, that don't mean that you have to do it. You don't do it. Because that's just been jumping out here at me like, obey your parents in the Lord. Because they're not going to lead you off on the wrong path. And it says, when you do this, that you'll have, your days on earth will be long. That if you obey them and you're good to your parents. They're just like a handful until everybody gets here. But I want to remind you of this again. Tell your mom and your dad that you love them. I love you. And you know what? And don't say, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll think about it, but I'm just too much of a man. I'm not a talker. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Let me tell you something. Go up and give your mom and your dad a hug, and be sure and tell them how much you love them.
And your Aunt Niche.
Yes, and
Yes.
your Aunt Niche. Because I'm going to tell you something. That means more than that you'll ever know to get a hug and to be told that you're loved.
That's right.
It means more than, we talk about precious rubies or gold. It's always nice to get a gift though.
Or cash.
I really like the cash, that's good.
Color me green.
That's what Pastor said.
Okay, it says, Proverbs 31. This things that King Lemuel, an oracle, his mother taught him. O my son, O son of my womb, O son of my vows, do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. It's not for kings, O Lemuel, not for kings to drink wine, and nor for rulers to crave beer. This they drink and forget what the law decrees, and deprives all the oppressed of their rights. Give beer to those who are perishing, and wine to those who are in anguish. Let them drink and forget their poverty, and remember their misery no more. But speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, and speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and the needy. And this is the part, I love this. A good woman is hard to find. She's far worth more than diamonds, and her husband trusts her without reserve, and never has reason to regret it. You know, that is something a faithful wife who can find. Never spiteful, she treats him generously all her life long. I like this. She shops around for the best yarns and cottons, and she enjoys knitting and serving. And she's like a trading ship that sails far away to places and brings back exotic surprises. And one says she looks for bargains. And I wrote down here, she's a good shopper. These women are good shoppers.
No, they aren't.
She's up before dawn preparing breakfast for her family and organizing her day. She looks for a field and she buys it. And then with the money she puts aside, she plants a garden. That's a wise woman. Sometimes I think, sometimes as women we think that all the hours we put in sometimes, and up with the chickens, and sometimes the last one to go to bed, and you think that you took care of your husband, you think that you take care of your kids, and you make sure they're all nestled snugly in their beds. It's like the Christmas story, but it's probably sometimes you're not appreciating, you're sure you're dwelling on that stuff. Something, Bishop said something today, and and it's true. She said, the older I get, and the more I think about things, she said, I'm learning something. To give more grace and to be less judgmental. And to start looking for the good in each other. And sometimes, because this has just come to me, but sometimes a person can live. You say you live an exemplary life, perfect every way. You do one thing wrong, and everybody in the world only dwells on that one thing. They forget all the good you did up at that time, and they dwell on that one thing. And today when she said, I want you to lift your hands and worship the Lord. And we began to worship Him. I thought, Lord, forgive me when I have been so harsh and judgmental, self-righteous. Because I think how many days, or sometimes the hours go by, and I have not said good morning to you. I go to bed and I didn't say good night to you. And I said, Jesus, you shed your blood. You laid down your life you know, and I thought, how it must hurt your heart sometime. And I think our kids, you know, we get disappointed. But I thought, Lord, how much, you know, it may hurt your heart when we don't even say good morning to you or good night or one thank you during the day, because we're always asking. But how many times do we stop to give thanks? I don't know, I just like, when we're worshiping the Lord, that just, you know, it says with the last breath, as my strength fails and I draw my last breath, I said, I want to be praising you. I don't know, my heart started melting. I thought, Lord, and you go right on loving us. That unconditional love. That unconditional love. Help me have more grace and be less judgmental. If something goes wrong, help me to remember the good things that was done. I don't know, I just cried and cried. The lady next to me, I said, God, I don't even cry. I saw her, she was crying. She was wiping her nose and wiping her eyes. But, you know, Lord is good like that. And I'm so glad, you know, Dr. Carey Shook said today, he said, so many of you, and he said, right now you're missing your mama. She's gone. She's gone in heaven. He said, you're missing your mamas right now. And he said, so many of you wanted to be a mother. And he said, you can't have children. And he said, your heart is broken when Mother's Day comes. It's hard on you. And, you know, I thought about that, and I thought, you know, all despite our imperfections, I'd rather have a family with all the imperfections than have to sit by myself in a room all by myself and have no family and have no children. I'd rather you come with all your flaws and accept me with all mine. I want a family. I'd rather have a family. That's why I told Kim yesterday, I fight so hard for this family. I mean, I fight so hard. If you've ever been where you wasn't a close-knit or had anybody family that you could really lean on, you would know why I fight so hard for a family, to keep this family together. Despite imperfections, and I'll guarantee you, I don't care what any of us does, there's a real love for each other in us. We love each other. There really is. I don't care. I know we love each other. First thing in the morning, she dresses for work, and she rolls up her sleeves, and she's eager to get started. She senses the worth of her work, and she's no hurry to call it quits for the day. She's skilled in the crafts of home and hearth, and she's diligent in homemaking. She's quick to assist anyone in need, and she reaches out to help the poor. She doesn't worry about her family when it snows. Their winter clothes are all mended and ready to wear. That means it's a woman that looks ahead. She's not a goose. She doesn't have her head stuck in the ground. Dr. Carey Shook said today, there is people that, he said, you know, there's problems arise, like in families arise, but it's like people just going like, what? They won't talk about it, they won't face it, because if they do ever have to face it, they got to deal with it. So it's like they just go on with a never land, just ignore it, and they'll say, try to talk to them, oh, I didn't know about that. He said, no, that's somebody that doesn't want to acknowledge there is a problem. And he says, sometimes you have to. That don't mean we stick our head in a hole in the ground. But let's work together to get it resolved.